Hi, this is Born in 62. I'm Henrik Jurs. Today we are going to discuss the lateral part of the deltoid, the part that makes up the roundness of the shoulder, and if developed enough will make your shoulders look like coconuts. Well, that is not the case right now, but hope is still there. In an earlier video I have discussed the lateral side raise, where you have a dumbbell in each hand and you're supposed to pour out the picture, as it's said. You have probably been told at one time or another that the right way to do it is to rotate your upper arm so your lateral head is on top here at the moment. If you move your arm in a more natural way like this, the front delt will do more of the work as it becomes on top. And it will always be the muscle fibers that are working directly against the force, the gravity, the resistance that will do the work. So by having the shoulder externally rotated, that is what it's called when it goes this way, the front delt will do most of the work. Internally rotated like this, and the lateral delt will do most of the work. Trouble is that some people will get shoulder pain from this movement. It's called shoulder impingement, where some of the nerves and some of the tendons from the stability muscle of the shoulder, the infraspinatus and the supraspinatus, comes impinged in the shoulder. So internal rotation like this can hurt your shoulders. So if you had trouble doing any kind of lateral raise in the past, here's a way to get past this and still get something out of the raise, but doing it in another fashion using cables. What is the trouble here is your body against the ground. Actually, the resistance comes from gravity, which comes up from the ground. So you could either bend forward and that way be able to still have the lateral head on top of that. I'll show you that in another video. But if you stand up like this, you'll have to do this pretty hard internal rotation of the arm to have the lateral head do the work. What if the resistance didn't come up from the ground but came in front of you? So you were going like this, then you wouldn't have to internally rotate your shoulder, but you would still work against gravity. So what I'm going to show you today is a shoulder exercise that will work the lateral head of the shoulder and to some degree also the posterior head, the head down here at the back of the shoulder. So what I'm going to do is to use the handles here in the high pulley. There are several benefits from this. One is I don't have to do any kind of rotation for my shoulders that might hurt me. The other is that the resistance is much more constant using cables. Whereas if you use a dumbbell and lift it like this, in the first part of the lift there's almost no resistance and it gets very hard at the top of the movement here. With cables you have the same resistance all through the movement. So let's look at it. What I do is I simply turn around, get this, cross my arm under, get the other handle, find the middle, extend my arms in front of me and pull back like this. The lateral head of my shoulders is doing most of the work, but is being assisted somewhat by the posterior head. You'll notice that you shouldn't contract your trapezius or your upper back, but try to relax these muscles so they don't take over the work from the shoulders. As I begin to tire, it's easy for me to fall into the trap that I'll make my back muscles and my traps do the work, but I have to keep that form in mind and try to make the action go to my shoulders. And actually right now I can feel it here, so it did what it was supposed to do. It served its purpose, this exercise. So I hope I've inspired you to try something new. Until next week, have some great workouts and take care of yourself and your shoulders. Hi.